In this video, we will see how to process text files. So imagine that we have a text file with some lines, and we want to do something for each line. So for example, printing it with a line number, or performing an action with information on that line, or whatever. So how can we do that? Okay, for reading from the input, we use the read command. Read command, remember, will read something from the console and put that in the variable. So if we execute this command, it's prompting here for a line. I can write, for example, line 1. The line is line 1. This is a while. So if I put something here, this is true, this is executed, and I return to the read, then line 2, until I finish with Control D. Control D, I finish the input, the read operation is false, and the program will continue here. Okay, but this is processing lines from the standard input, not from a file. How can we process a file? We can use redirection. Remember redirection? We can use, if I have the information here in file.txt, I can redirect file.txt to this while sentence. So instead of reading from here from the console, it will take the lines from file. And when the file has no more lines, the read will fail and it will continue execution. So here I can do that, and I have here all the lines of the file, and I can process this in this. I'm just echoing the contents of the line, but we could do whatever we want with it. Okay. There is another way of processing a file. Is using pipes. Remember pipes? If I can redirect using pipes, I have one command, use pipe, and the output of this command will go to the input of the following command. Okay, this is the pipe. I can use the pipes also with shell scripts. So for example, I can print the contents of the file with file.txt. Okay, this is printing all the lines in the file. So I can pipe the contents of this file to the while loop. So here, if I run this, okay, this will output all the lines, and this will process all the lines, because this read is taking the lines from the standard input of the while is the output of this cat here. And I can also use variables here. For example, file name, file.txt, and I can use file name here. Okay, and I can also use file name here using redirecting the input. In this case, this won't be needed. Okay, and that's it. I can use the for loop for reading files, but it's a little bit tricky. So remember that the for loop, you have line in. Here we have a set of items, root on, and echo the line is line. So here I need to put the contents of the file. So I can do this with cat. In this case, I have the file name, cat file name. But see what happens if I do this. The first thing that you need to consider is that here the whole file will be read into memory before processing it lines line by line. So for big files, this is not a very good option. But anyway, if I run that script, it's not processing the lines. It's breaking the file by the by some separate by the spaces. Remember, the internal field separator is spaced by default, so it's breaking the contents of the file by a space, and then it's processing each token as an item of the for. Okay, that's not what we want. What we need to do is to group the lines. So here we could think, okay, let's put quotes here, but in this case, okay, the whole contents of the file will be treated as a single line. I can do more complex things. We need with files and loops, change the internal field separator to the new line. This file here this way, and I want to add all the numbers of the file. Break the contents by the new line character. The new line character is here after each line. So if I remove the quotes and assign this new line character as the internal field separator, then each line is processed independently. I can do more complex things with files and loops. So imagine that I have this file here, and I want to add all the numbers of the file. I will need to use two loops. So for example, I could read the contents of the file, read line, do done from file2.txt. I will have the line here. The line is, and I will need to process each line. So I can remember that I can use an internal field separator. So for example, in this case, the separator will be this one, the comma. So EFS will be the command. And once I have the line, I can, for example, from number in line, do done, and each. For example, just print the number, and we can see that. Okay, I have the line, and I split the line using the comma, and I perform a loop for each number. So I could, for example, add the numbers or do something with each one of the fields of the line. So this is the way of processing files using shell scripting.